Hey everybody, I'm Elena, and as you can see, there's been an extreme makeover on my hair. Once again, what is life? I'm on a hair crisis of some sort. So long story short, I will talk you all about what's happened with my hair now. So here's the thing. Let's just go straight the story real quick through the story, and then we'll go with the process that I've been through in case anyone is interested. So I was wearing I'm a natural brunette, light brunette but still brunette, and yeah, I wanted to be blonde. It's something that I wanted all lifelong, whatever. And long story short, I went ahead and started, doing highlights on my hair, letting it grow, adding more highlights, going more towards blonde. But at the salon that I used to go, they would never achieve the blonde that I wanted, so I took the matters on my hands and I started, doing the process at home. I looked some tutorials on YouTube, not to say that this is what you have to do, but this is what I did. So for a year I was using professional bleach and whatnot, but still I was doing it myself at home, the highlights, and so far so good. It was working fine, but I never dared to go as light as I wanted because I wasn't willing to go ahead and damage my hair, because I didn't know the ties precisely, and of course I don't have, eyes on the back, so I couldn't see the entire process even though I checked with the mirror on the mirror. Anyway, something's up. I went back to that salon and I told the hairdresser that I wanted to go a little bit lighter with the highlights. I wanted to tone it all a bit more down, less yellow, more ashy. You got the gist, more ash blonde. So next thing you know, she did the highlights. I think that we all should admit our own limitations, especially when you're working with someone else's things, be it hair, be it whatever. And she did not, so to sum things up, she burned my hair. Like, my hair was elastic like gum. There were pieces that they were fine, but I would go through my hair and you didn't even see that, on camera, and I would get pieces, not big pieces, big chunks, but still, a little bit hairs here and there that they got broken, and it was all like frizzy, burnt. It was dreadful. It was terrible. So lo and behold, I went on the search of some better hairdressers, that they knew what they were doing. So I went to that salon that they did this makeover, this extreme makeover, because I never ever had worn short hair before. And yeah, they just checked my hair. I just wanted to fix the blonde. They told me, look, your hair is so compromised that if we dare to go blonder in here, or create some, it's a no-do. So that was out of the question. Then I asked, so what if I go brunette? And the hairdresser was like, look, your hair is real damaged. If I dye it brunette, it's gonna go green. We could work it out, several dyes of brunette. It's gonna work okay, but your hair needs rest. If you want to take my advice, I would start fresh. I would chop it all off and start fresh. And I was like, what? Because I never had worn short hair, the story. I changed the look, beginning of 2018, new year, new me. And then I went ahead and I went back to that hairdresser and I told her, I am over, my yellowish blonde, and there's some growth. I don't like it. I don't like seeing roots, and can you do something about it? Is it time? They freshened my haircut because it was all touching my eyelashes and whatnot, the fringe, and they told me it was still too early and they went ahead and did this semi-permanent dye with purple that you probably have seen. And for the first, no, for the first, for the first week, give or take, it was real fun. But then I didn't feel myself, you know, being purple. I thought it was I don't know, to me it looked sad. You know, I looked sad. I looked more serious, less bubbly. I didn't like the look, so I couldn't wait for it to wash off. Fortunately, it washed off. You know, I washed it. I made sure to wash the heck out of my hair, and it completely faded away. There I am with a huge growth, and I haven't been able to go to that city yet again. And I'm seeing my real dark, not real dark, but compared to the blonde, I'm seeing my roots, my brunette roots. I'm not liking it, because it was a highway. You know, it was like this width of blonde and this much width of brunette. So I wasn't about that. You probably have seen it in the last videos. So I was on a research, and I went and I was looking at girls, you know, in my town and checking the blondes that I liked, and I decided to go ahead and ask, you know, and I asked a couple of girls, and it was the same answer. It was like, girl, I love your blonde. Where do you go? You know, can you tell me which salon you go? And they both referred me to the same salon. So lo and behold, I went there and I set an appointment, and I told them, and they told me, so you want to do your roots? And I was like, I want to do my roots, but I want to take out off the brassiness, of course, but I want to go a bit lighter, but not grayish, because I was referring to the girl that referred me there. Of course, it's a small town, everyone knows everyone. And I was telling, so this girl, I don't want her hair per se, you know, I don't want to go into full-on gray. I just want a light blonde. What about highlights? And they were like, well, you know, you're at a length that it's better if we do the whole hair, and then the growth, it's gonna look, you know, it's what's up, yada yada. So I showed them, because it's the blonde that I always loved, the Gwen Stefani photo from Instagram, and it's the blonde that I always, it's like my go-to blonde, my go-to, no, it's my blonde goals, you know, Gwen Stefani blonde, it's the blonde that I always like the best. So I showed her a photograph of Gwen Stefani's hair, and she was, yeah, sure. So they bleached my hair. Here comes the story. They bleached my hair once to even it all out, and I looked like an stirred chicken. I kid you not. It looked yellow. It was freakish. They dried it all up, and then it was, I don't know, I don't want to be offensive or anything, but my hair, without styling it or anything, it looked like Donald Trump's hair. It was bad. It was bad. She was not, and she was like, do not get scared. We're gonna get rid of that. So the first time around, I didn't do this process at home. You know why? Because I dreaded, I hinted that, you know, it's hard, you know, to work on blonde and then with bleach, and not touching one blonde with the bleach in order to keep the hair intact and not breaking the hair strands, you know, with a chemical process. So yeah, I went to a salon and they did a 20 volume bleach on my hair, however much time it was needed. I will not tell you the time. I believe it was over an hour, because I was sitting there and my hair was not developing as fast as they were hoping, or as it should. And my hair was taking its time, so they wrapped it in tin foil, and I was there for a crazy amount of time. They washed it off, and then they went over it with 10 volume bleach, 10 volume developer plus bleach, of course, a bleach powder, and they kept it for a good amount of time. But this time around, they didn't touch the tips of the hair that were already this color, and I was like, are you sure this isn't gonna go way too light? You know, I don't want to go white. I want to go Gwen Stefani blonde. And she was like, yeah, I got this down. Next thing you know, she washes my hair. My hair was crazy white. It was like, it wasn't this stark white, you know, because it had this yellow residue in it, like this really cream, I don't know how to, this custard yellow, this real pale pastel yellow, actually. She was like, now we're gonna tone it, you know, I'm gonna add the dye that it's a toner, so it's not a toner shampoo. And I am not a professional hairdresser or anything, but I know that when I have toned and gone for ashy blonde, even though I never achieved it because I never bleached my hair twice at home on the same day. I'm not that crazy. To each its own. But yeah, I have never done that by myself. I knew that the coloring, the dye that you applied afterwards, you know, to tone all the yellows and to give the blonde that you want to achieve, it was like a shell color, you know, the inside of a pearl shell, seashell, however you want to name it. It was this kind of a color, almost like my nails today. It was this kind of yellowish, I don't know how to describe it, pearly color. And when she went to tone my hair, the dye that she was applying was more like lilac, not really purple or anything, but it was like this white gearing into lilac. And I was, are you sure that this isn't gonna turn purple or anything like that? And she was like, no. Long story short, here's the results. I went for Gwen Stefani blonde, and obviously my hair had, I don't know, ingested too much bleach in one day and spit all the pigment out, so it sucked it all in, the dye that they applied afterwards, and now I am left with an ice blonde. At some points it looks almost like a very light lilac that I dread, and at some lights it looks like white, like I don't know, like I have white hair, you know, like I hit my 60s and my entire hair went white on a trail, but it's not. And yeah, that's the story. So this is what happens to a medium to light brunette. With the roots were my natural roots, so that's for a guide, color guide. And this is what happens. Is this my goal color? No, it's not. So I am always, you know, today when I look myself at the mirror, I always regret it, you know, going to the hairdressers and putting my hair through this process. But I really wanted to change. I didn't want to go back into purple. My brunette, I believe it makes me look older and more serious, and short hair and brunette, to each its own. I prefer to have long hair for going brunette, and short hair, I think it has to be something, I don't know, I prefer it blonde. So I am left with this. I don't know, I am thinking that what I will do in order for it to become a little bit darker is not to use purple shampoo, obviously, because then it's gonna look lilac. And yeah, this was the color. I have to admit that this was the color that at the other salon when they did this haircut, they were telling me to go ahead and do this color because it's all the trend and it's all the hype and everyone's using this color. I don't know. Do I hate it? No. This is my favorite color ever. I don't know, it's an experience. I will not do it again. The girl told me, look, you have to come in a couple weeks and we'll retone it. I don't know if I will go back, but if I do, I'm gonna tell her, look, I don't know what you have to do because now I am at loss. I have to be honest with you. But can you darken this? And this is a word I never thought it would come out of my mouth, but can you darken this a little bit? You know, when Stefan is not wearing a color, then when light reflects, as you can see, it reflects this. It's not an ash blonde. It's an icy cold blonde gearing into white. It's an off-white. I don't know how you call this color. Yeah, I wanted more a blonde, a Nordic blonde. But yeah, that's the result. I guess that in the journey on going onto your perfect color, there are some good times. There are some. I guess that into the journey on achieving your ideal color, there are some fails. I don't think this is an epic fail. I am gonna rock it. I don't want to be damaging my hair any further or anything, but it's not my goal. But still, to the people that you're watching this, if you're new to my channel and you want to achieve this, just go to your salon and tell them this. Or if you want to do it at home, remember that it's bleach and 20 volumes, let it develop, rinse, bleach, 10 volume developer, let it develop, rinse, and then tone. So it's a heck of a lot of process, so make sure you work with good quality hair. If you're not working with virgin hair that was this length, give or take, of course you couldn't see that, but you hinted darker roots because I managed to hide it as much as possible. If you're not working with natural hair, I wouldn't recommend to do 2 bleaches in one day, and I wouldn't recommend doing 2 bleaches at all, at least at home. It's best that you let a professional do their job. They know what they're doing most of the time. Of course, do your research, go to a salon. I did my research. I went to, I finally, you know, I had my trusted hairdresser of all my life, but you know, they can only give you so much. It's like I only know so much of editing on YouTube, and we have to admit our limits. So I stepped up the game a little bit and I went to a place that they know what they're doing. Maybe this is not my goal, but I have seen really gorgeous blondes out there. So yeah, that's my hair update, and from now on, I don't know, will this get darker? Where will it go? You never know. I don't know. I have still you know, to get this hair under the water and shampoo, because I just got it done and styled last night, so it's not like I'm gonna wash it right today. So that's about it. This is a hair update. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Which color do you think it suits best to me? Should I go back to long hair? Let me know your opinion down below as always, and if you haven't already, please make sure to click the subscribe button, the red one, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video on this channel. In the meantime, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you're having a great day. See you in the next one. Bye!